It's time for Q&A in the Kitchen. It's the panel discussion show that's on YouTube and various different podcasts where we talk about some of the more common questions and concerns that those that collect body piercings and tattoos have.
Yeah.
So, this show is brought to you in part by Skin Kitchen Tattoo, the Axiom Body Piercing Studio, and Death Before Decaf. So let's join the conversation here, or start the conversation with our first question today. Jack, you want to ask it this time?
Yeah. Let's see. Let's start with. Are we starting with the glitter and the black light?
Let's try it.
Let's do that. All right. So yeah, we get questions from people all the time about a bunch of different things, but lately it's been coming up, and throughout my career it's come up, but about people wanting either silver or gold pigment, or they want some sort of glitter or something in their tattoo. And the short answer is that it doesn't exist. You know, they have this black light ink that has varying success, I think, depending on how it's used and where it's used and all that. I've never experimented with it because I'm of the thought that if I won't put it in my body, I'm not going to put it in anyone else's body. So I don't know. I'm a little leery of it. Some people fuck with it all the time, mess with it all the time, and whatever. But other than that, the metallic, like any silver or gold paint that has any kind of reflective quality to it, is because there's a metallic substance in there, basically like very, very fine glitter or metal particles. Mm-hmm. So it reflects the light and gives it that glimmer. There's no way that's going to work in your flesh, at least with modern science, the way I understand it. Even if you were to be able to get some sort of metallic particles suspended in your flesh, it's not going to have the luminescence through your flesh as it would through a clear coat, say on a paint job.
Yep.
So we can do certain things with the values of the pigments and the way we apply white and where we apply shadows to mimic something that has a reflective quality, but to get something that has literally a reflective quality, at this point in time, it doesn't exist, people. Yep. It just doesn't exist. And if you've seen anything like that, there's a lot of manipulation of photos and stuff online, and they're so good at it now, these apps and stuff, that you can't tell that it's been messed with.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Is I get a lot of people coming in for the exact same thing. They see white tattoos and they see, wow, this looks really good, and I say that's Photoshop, though. That's not a real tattoo. It's a bummer to tell them that.
Right.
And to make them feel bad for not being able to recognize that, because it's really hard to tell nowadays, too. Mm-hmm. But the reality is that there's white tattoos and there's glitter tattoos that aren't really real. They're just Photoshopped to make it look like it. Even we do, us as tattoo artists, are shooting ourselves in the foot sometimes because we do, videos and stuff, and we put a filter on it that has sparkles on it, and people don't recognize that that's a filter on it and not part of the tattoo.
Yeah. And don't think that we don't wish we could.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I could put like gold in your tattoo and make it all blingy. Hell, frick yeah, that'd be rad. But unfortunately, not yet.
Yep.
It'd be like looking at a shiny object through a dirty window,
yeah.
basically. And as a body piercer and knowing a lot about metals and etc., there would be a lot of issues with whether or not your body would even accept it.
Yeah,
It would probably push all that stuff to the surface. It would be an open wound. It would be agitating. And a couple years would go by, and all of a sudden a big flake of metal would come out.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It just doesn't
your body would just want to reject it.
The same thing with using any type of stones or stuff like that.
Right.
How about the black light?
Yeah, the black light stuff, and I've never used it. I've seen a few people that have come into the shop who've demonstrated it and shown it to me and things like that. I only have heard things. The main things I have heard is that it fades rather quickly. It loses its luminous quality when it's applied to black light, because it's just like any other pigment. It's going to slowly fade and degrade.
I've worked with a number of times now. I've probably done 20 blacklight tattoos, and there's just not very. It's not that there's bad brands out there. I mean, I'm sure there are bad brands. I've always bought some really good brands. I've never had any bad reactions with it, but it's really hard to work with. You have to generally have a blacklight handy, or trust that everywhere you're tattooing is going to be fully saturated. And it's kind of a hard. Generally, even some of the best quality brands, the pigments are a little bit thick. They're hard to saturate, and yeah, they don't work very well. They do fade pretty quickly, and generally, you have to be right up underneath the light for you to actually see anything.
Really fluoresce.
You're not gonna see it at the raves or the concerts. You're not gonna see it at the bowling alley or anything like that. You have to be right there under the light to kind of see it. So it's more of a gimmick thing, kind of, than any real purpose for it. I've had a couple of different colors I've worked with, blue, red, and white. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, and there hasn't been a whole lot of options for me or opportunities for me to experience a consistency between them all, other than these 20-some tattoos. But yeah, they are a little bit troublesome tattoo. It's more of a gimmick.
Yeah.
You understand that you're gambling on whether or not that money's worth it for that tattoo.
And I heard somebody say too, and it kind of makes sense, that if your tattoo has to be seen under a black light for it to look like it's really supposed to look, then it's never going to look, hardly ever, going to look like it really should,
Yeah.
So I thought that was a good point. Like, oh yeah, this tattoo is really rad, but you have to see it under black light to really appreciate it. Well, then really what good is that? Again, like you said, it's a gimmick. It's, kind of to get people like, oh, that'd be neat to make the eyes glow or da-da-da-da-da.
Exactly.
Yeah, but, it's not really worth the hassle and the bullshit and everything, because at the end of the day, it's not going to be like you think.
And how often are you under black lights?
Exactly.
Are you going to carry your own, lighting unit with you?
I had a guy, I said that too. He came into the shop and he had it on the backs of his hands.
Yeah.
And I had a black light in the shop for some reason at that point. And he showed them to me and and I go, yeah, but how often are you around a black light? And he goes, well, I work at Spencer's. So I'm like, oh, well.
That'd be a good application.
Well, fuck me then, I guess. Have fun
All
with your
day,
career
every
at
day.
Spencer. Yeah. Anyway.
I do remember that at one point, I want to say it was in the early 90s, late 80s, like right when I first started getting in, there were a few people out there doing like 3D tattoos, like real 3D tattoos, like the old school, you got to wear glasses.
Oh, yeah,
to
with the
actually
blue and
see
the
it,
red, sure.
The blues and reds off center.
Yep.
And it was just like, and it looked like garbage.
Yeah.
Whenever they were, it's like if anybody's ever gotten one of those films and like halfway through you're just like, I'm tired of wearing these plastic things on my face, or back then they were paper.
I knew a girl who had her chest piece done with something like that too, and she hated it. Everybody would stare at her tits all the time, trying to figure out what it was she had tattooed. It was just like two images offset from each other.
Right.
So.
Like, you didn't see that coming, lady?
Like I was looking at your tattoo and it gave me a nasty
It gave me a headache. Yeah. It's probably a fail if the headache you did on someone, or the tattoo you did on someone gives them a headache. Yeah, not good. So yeah, please stop asking for the gold and the silver tattoos. It's just not a thing. I wish it was. Somebody out there, Eternal, whoever you are, I'm sure you've worked on it. But if you could just nail this one for us, that'd be great. But yeah.
Either that or get people to stop talking about it.
Or messing with their, the putting the filters and stuff on. And like you were saying about the white, I've really seen this craze lately on Instagram, mostly of these really macabre, like creepy looking designs, and they're very, very high contrast black and white, and it's like usually some sort of creep, kind of coming out of the darkness, and you see all the little highlights and glistening little things. And those tattoos are really rad, but they rely so much on the black and the white that there is, I don't want to call it trickery, but there's photographic manipulation or video manipulation going on there where, I'm not taking away like that tattoo wasn't dope. It's super dope.
Yep.
But in just everyday life, walking down the street with that tattoo,
it's not going to fade and look bad, but it's going to fade and lose that luster.
It's going to kind of fall apart, I think. In a way, in doing something that's super over detailed can kind of make it just turn into mush. I think those tattoos, once they lose that super high contrast and they start middling out, I think they're going to kind of lose their pop. But that just kind of went along with the whole,
But see, when you see those from a distance, it looks like somebody just has a big giant black blob.
It can, if you don't have that.
Yeah, I was watching some video earlier today a YouTube tattoo related on YouTube, and I can't remember who it was. And he has like it probably, if you look at it up close, is very, very detailed. But on camera, it just looks like his whole arm is black.
Yeah.
So you gotta, that's the perception that most people are going to see it. They're not going to see it this close.
And if you tattooed it in such a manner that you are really preserving these small little pockets of skin for your highlights to really pop, well, once that pigment starts relaxing a little bit, it starts invading those highlight spots, and some of the tiniest little highlights really kind of stitch that image together. Once those are gone or you lose those, it really starts mushing up. So it's can be a tough balance from getting that wow factor right now for your Instagram followers and really thinking, in 25 years, is this thing going to be, slamming like that? I don't know. I guess time will tell.
Plus, won't sun damage and et cetera cause those to kind of bleed out a little bit?
Of course, that'll cause that black not to be so black, and those whites are going to get eaten up. Not only by the UV, but by the skin just getting darker over the top.
You're gonna get fuzzier and fuzzier.
Yeah. I've just seen a lot of really badass tattoos that are done in that style. But I just wonder, unless you're really maintaining that tattoo and you are just, pardon the expression, a sun Nazi, where you just are never outside. I just think those are going to be tough to really maintain.
Yeah, so it's definitely, if you're considering doing something like that, you should probably do it in an area that's easy to cover. That's not gonna be in contact with clothing. So basically torsos, maybe a hip.
Yep. Yeah, that would certainly help. Forearms, and I see a lot of them on arms. It seems a lot, legs too, which is some really awesome stuff. But yeah, I would think if you're any sort of outdoors person, I would think that type of tattoo would just get destroyed really fast. But I don't know. What do I know?
Well, I know. I've only been doing this for, I don't know.
Yeah.
These kids and their ideas.
Yeah, it's really hit me lately. I've had a couple people asking me, so how long you been doing this? And I'm like, 26 years now. And they go, damn, that's longer than I've been alive.
Well, I get that on a
I'm like, shut up.
See, the only time you need to worry about it is when you're on your first date and you're going to the liquor store and she hands you her ID and you go, yeah, I remember 1982.
Right, yeah, that was amazing.
BMX bike around the neighborhood, doing all kinds of mischief.
It's crazy now tattooing people that were born in 2000.
Yeah.
2001. You were born. Like, what? Anyway, okay.
Enough talking. 2000.
Enough about the oldness. Okay. Did we beat that one to death?
I think we did. I think we did a good job. You've been listening to or watching Q&A in the Kitchen. If you like this, give us a thumbs up. Follow us, of course. Hit that notification bell if you're on the YouTubes. If you're on the other one, just follow us.
And then hit the person beside you and go, are you following these guys? They're awesome!
We were happy to be on the bus with you today, or the train, or the car, wherever you happen to be listening to this.
Your car smells incredible.
Yeah, you do a good job. There's a lot of owner pride here.
I can tell. It feels good in here.
Yes. So we do post these every other Sunday. One Sunday we do the video version. The next Sunday we do the podcast version. We'd like to thank, of course, Skin Kitchen Tattoo, the Axiom Body Piercing Studio in Death Before Decaf. Check out our merch store. Links in the description. Got lots of t-shirts, hats, all kinds of fun stuff there. And if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, we hope to see you for your tattooing and body piercing needs in the future.
Goodbye.
So long.